WhisperAudios, and today we are continuing on with the results from the Myers-Briggs personality test, which I will link down in the description box. I took this personality test and I got 3 different personality types, traits, which I have been sharing in different videos because the videos were just so super long. I decided to chunk them out into different videos. So we read the INFJ, which was the counsellor previous, and I'll link that down below in the description box. Today we are looking at the ISFJ, also known as the Protector, which for me was a very good match. So the Counsellor and the Protector were my 2 that were a very good match. The other one, which was just a good match, was the ENFJ, also known as the Teacher, which I will be reading out in the next video. So if you took the Myers-Briggs test and got these personality types for yourself, then hopefully you'll be able to listen along with me and see how true they are for you. And please let me know in the description what personality type you got, and it'll be interesting to see if people who experience ASMR or create ASMR videos are similar in terms of personality. I wonder how that correlates. So let me get comfortable, and like before, I'm going to record my screen so you can see on the side of the video roughly what I'm looking at. I will try to read as much information as possible, but an hour of talking non-stop it does wonders on my voice. But please feel free to check out this website at your own leisure, and you can look in more detail on all the different personality types. So let me record my screen. Hopefully my battery won't die. So we're looking at the ISFJ, also known as the Protector, and we're looking at the overview first of all. The ISFJs are industrious caretakers, loyal to traditions and organisations. They are practical, compassionate and caring, and are motivated to provide for others and protect them from the perils of life. ISFJs are conventional and grounded and enjoy contributing to established structures of society. Say that when you're drunk. They are steady and committed workers with a deep sense of responsibility to others. They focus on fulfilling their duties, particularly when they are taking care of the needs of other people. They want others to know that they are reliable and can be trusted to do what is expected of them. They are conscientious and methodical and persist until the job is done. What does ISFJ stand for? ISFJ is an acronym used to describe one of the 16 personality types created by Catherine Briggs and Isabel Myers. It stands for introverted, sensing, feeling, judging. ISFJs indicate a person who is energized by time spent alone, introverted, who focuses on facts and details rather than ideas and concepts, sensing, who makes decisions based on feelings and values, feeling, and who prefers to be planned and organised rather than spontaneous and flexible, judging. ISFJs are sometimes referred to as protector personalities because of their interest in keeping people safe and well cared for. How common is the ISFJ personality type? ISFJ is the most common type in the US population and the most common type among women. ISFJs make up 14% of the general population, 19% of women, and 8% of men. Famous ISFJs include Mother Teresa, George H.W. Bush, Laura Bush, King George VI, Kate Middleton, Rosa Parks, Princess Mary of Denmark, and Clara Barton. ISFJ values and motivations. ISFJs are driven by their personal values and are conscientious in their behaviour. They typically want to work hard, get along with others, and make sure they do what is expected of them. ISFJs value relationships highly and strive to cooperate and maintain harmony with others. They want stability and longevity in their relationships and tend to maintain a deep devotion to family. They feel most connected with people they know and can rely upon over the long term. ISFJs appreciate tradition and like knowing how things were done in the past. They are loyal to established methods and values and want to observe the proper accepted way of doing things. They place great importance on fitting in with established institutions and contributing what they can to maintain strong, stable social structures. In groups, they often take on the role of historian, ensuring that new members respect and value the established customs. So far for me, I kind of see some of these traits for me, but I don't necessarily agree with most of them. I definitely think I am more of the counsellor type that I read out in my previous video, but I see definitely some strong traits in here for me. How others see the ISFJ. ISFJs are characteristically humble and unassuming and rarely call attention to themselves. They can be found offering assistance to others in a modest, understated way. They are loyal and hardworking and often commit themselves to tasks and projects with the aim of being helpful to their families, friends, and communities. I definitely relate with that. They are typically involved in social groups, but do not want the spotlight. They are more likely to be found behind the scenes, working diligently to fulfill the role. I definitely agree with that, because that's essentially what a film producer is. They don't get the limelight, but they are very hardworking in making sure everything runs smoothly. ISFJs are orientated to relationships, but they can be reserved with new people. I definitely agree with that. I put so much time into my established relationships, but don't necessarily put the same amount of effort into new relationships. They rarely disclose personal information quickly. They tend to be focused and aware of their surroundings and relate details from their own personal experience. They often converse in terms of what has happened to them and what they have seen firsthand. They are compassionate listeners and typically remember details about people. They often enjoy hearing the facts about others in the process of making a connection. True, I would much prefer to listen to somebody rather than talk to somebody like about me personally. I'd rather listen to what somebody has to say. ISFJ hobbies and interests. Popular leisure activities for ISFJs include cooking, gardening, painting, crafts, picnics, nature walks, and watching movies. They are also often found supporting their loved ones in their interests and activities. Definitely true for me. measures score as conservative, conventional, guarded, and reserved. Among types most likely to believe in a higher spiritual power, not true for me. More likely than average to experience chronic pain, oh dear. Among types most likely to suffer with heart disease, that's great. Second most common type among education majors in college. More likely than other types to watch more than 3 hours of television per day. Not true, I don't watch television. Well, I do watch series television, but only one episode a night. Personal values include happy family, health and spirituality. Overrepresented among MBA students and male small business owners. Among 3 types with the lowest income, probably true for me. Commonly found in education, healthcare and religious occupations. Now we go to strengths. Practical, with a keen memory, an eagle's eye for observation, and an absolute determination to account for every detail. ISFJs are practical workers par excellence. When focused on a mission, ISFJs possess a Sherlock Holmes-like disposition to solving practical problems, built on an in-depth understanding of concrete facts. I think that's giving me way too much credit there. I don't think I'm as great as that at all. Hardworking, intense and serious when a task needs to be completed. That's absolutely me. ISFJs are super competent go-getters who bring a hard-nosed approach to their work that can sometimes seem excessive to others. But it's important to remember that ISFJs care deeply about people. When an ISFJ puts her game face on, it's a sign that she believes what she is doing will improve people's lives and is worth taking seriously. Supportive. ISFJs are the consummate helpers, happy to share their time and energy with anyone who needs it, and taking an empathetic approach to problems and goals. As parents, partners, friends, students, workers, entrepreneurs, neighbours, community members, public servants and citizens, ISFJs always strive for excellence, and it is the inclusivity and comprehensiveness of their vision that forms their identity and gives them their unique ability to brighten every corner of the worlds they inhabit. Oh, I hope that's true for me. True to their word. By now, we are all familiar with the values that ISFJ hold dear: honour, integrity, responsibility, loyalty and commitment. This is all well and good, but to ISFJs it is far more important to walk the walk than talk the talk, and this is where ISFJs shine like the brightest stars. In business and personal relations, ISFJs are straight shooters who say what they mean and mean what they say. Their word is as good as gold. That is so true for me. I literally, if I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. Weaknesses. Resistant to change. ISFJs regard custom and tradition with the utmost respect and can become anxious with a world they see changing too fast and people who refuse to follow the established standards. ISFJs in full disc mode may convince themselves that moral decay and loss of respect for personal responsibility are destroying our society from the inside out, and they can become so immersed in pessimism that they will start seeing signs of degradation and devolution everywhere they look. I actually do think that, I feel like the world is crumbling around me right now, in terms of socio-economical, politics. Diversity of thought and opinion are truly the spices of life, but ISFJs can become so enamored with orthodoxy that they forget this essential fact of existence. So that kind of seems contradicting there, but I just feel I don't really respect an awful lot traditions, but I don't know. I feel like traditions can harm certain ways of life and they need to be brought down. So I think that's a little bit different to what that's saying. Too altruistic. Loyalty is an admirable character trait to be sure, but it is a two-way street, and if the people we choose to trust prove to be dishonest or unreliable, we must be prepared to walk away. Yet ISFJs struggle with letting go, and have a tendency to stay in it to the bitter end, convinced that this is the only honourable thing to do. I absolutely agree with that. For me, take things personally. Yes, I know this is going to be me before I read it. ISFJs are very private people, bordering on the shy, and this does not always mesh well with more open, unpredictable personality types. The social complexity of the environments they inhabit can overwhelm ISFJs and leave them feeling like square pegs in a universe of round holes. They have trouble dealing with conflict and a tendency to take even minor criticism personally, combined with their stubborn streak. That's true for me. This can leave ISFJs feeling vulnerable and put upon, and they may resort to judgmental criticism themselves as a defense mechanism. Absolutely true. Overload themselves. ISFJs are known for their terrific work ethic, but over time this positive trait can transmute into workaholism and leave an ISFJ so overloaded that she loses sight of everything else. At this present moment in time, this is so true. Workaholic. ISFJs can be driven to distraction by their perfectionist tendencies. True. When they manage to tear themselves away from the office and return home for a while, they will continue to obsess over their latest project or assignment, leaving them too distracted and preoccupied to enjoy their free time. So true. ISFJ's growth and development. Seek out contact with alien life forms. ISFJs have a tendency to ensnare themselves in their own worldviews and spend far too much time living inside their own heads. As such, they desperately need social contact with people who have different mindsets and ideological inclinations. This type of constructed social interaction can help ISFJs become more comfortable with diversity and accepting of social change, and it can prevent them from developing that stern schoolmaster's countenance that others find so reactionary and off-putting. I can be like that sometimes. Speak even when you haven't been spoken to. In their dealings with other people, ISFJs sometimes operate as if their life's purpose is to keep the peace and make everyone happy. Everyone except themselves, that is. This habit of suppressing emotions and deferring to the needs of others may seem noble, but in reality it can trap the ISFJ in non-productive relationships that won't make them happy. Speak up for yourself to reach your full potential as a human being. So true. Step outside your comfort zone. This is good advice for everyone, but particularly for ISFJs who tend to get stuck in their routines to the point where they don't have any time left over for fun and adventure. Take care to connect with your spontaneous, creative side, trying something new every now and then to ensure that your reverence for the tried and true does not calcify into rigidity. So true for me. Lighten up. While the ISFJ's serious and sober attitude may be well-intentioned, a little humour and irreverence from time to time never hurt anyone. You don't want to be the person who sucks the life out of a room. When they are on the job in particular, ISFJs should realise that fun, laughter and the occasional unplanned coffee break can help relieve stress makes sense to worry in some instances, but incessant worry is like a death star to happiness. Let go of the perfectionism every now and then and live a little. It's only when you relax your strict standards that true happiness will come. That is just so true for me. That relate. Oh, I totally think that's me. Careers. The ISFJ at work. At work, the ISFJ is motivated by the desire to help others in a practical, organised way. ISFJs are driven by their core of personal values, which often include upholding tradition, taking care of others, and working hard. ISFJs enjoy work that requires careful attention to detail and adherence to established procedures, and like to be efficient and structured in their completion of tasks. They prefer an explicit authority structure and clear expectations. ISFJs usually prefer to work behind the scenes and like to receive recognition in a low-key way without being required to present their work publicly. It's true. They want to feel that they have fulfilled their duties, but do not want to be thrust into the spotlight. True. An ideal job for ISFJ involves well-defined work tasks that achieve a concrete or observable result and does not require a lot of multitasking. An ideal work environment for an ISFJ is orderly, provides plenty of privacy, and includes colleagues who share the ISFJ's values. So, top careers for ISFJs, you've got community and social service, so like social or human service assistant or social worker. Life, physical and social science, you've got like ones that jump out for me are environmental science or specialist, forensic science technician or forest or conservation technician. Healthcare, the ones that jump out to me: nuclear medicine technologist, optometrist, pharmacist. These are just like Dr. Hastings role plays. Education, training, and librarian. Always wanted to be a librarian. Teacher's assistant. Office and administrative support. Those don't interest me. Personal care. Manicurist or pedicurist. That would interest me. Like maybe a real life ASMR massage technician. Business and financial. They all seem really boring. Math, oh no, that's like a swear word. Installation, maintenance and repair, no. Production, no. Architecture and engineering, no. Transportation and material moving, no. Construction and extraction. I used to be a painter, carpenter, back in the day. Protective service, maybe a police officer, but not really. So no, none of those really jump out for me. It's not so creative for me. ISFJ careers to avoid. It is important to note that any personality type can be successful in any occupation. However, some occupations are well suited to the natural talents and preferred work style of the ISFJ, while other occupations demand modes of thinking and behaviour that do not come naturally to the ISFJ. Occupations that require the ISFJ to operate outside their natural preferences may prove stressful or draining, and often sound unappealing to ISFJs who are choosing a career. So these are the ones that are not so good, but I see here there is art director, actor, photographer, all the ones that I'm interested in. So take this with a pinch of salt. The ISFJ on a team. The ISFJs are supportive, organised team members who attend to the needs of the people around them and follow procedures to get things done. ISFJs are not often interested in leading a team, but they may naturally take on the role of group secretary, keeping meticulous notes and accurately recalling facts and details that are important to the group ISFJs are sensitive to the concerns and emotions of others and do best on cooperative teams where there is not too much conflict. Absolutely. ISFJs typically feel most secure in a team where everyone adheres to established rules and procedures. They generally believe that people get along best when they all follow the rules. Yeah, I think if there's one person that shakes the apple cart, it causes problems for everyone else. Team members who question the rules or worse, ignore them outright, may upset the ISFJ who wants a harmonious, predictable environment. Sounds like a Hermione Granger. Personality. The ISFJ is a leader. In leadership positions, the ISFJs tend to be traditional, helpful, and realistic. They are focused on what can be done to help others in a practical, responsible way. ISFJs are often reluctant to take leadership roles, but are committed to doing their duty and will take on a leadership position if asked to. That's very true for me. I never sought out to take on leadership roles within the film industry, but here I am. ISFJs are loyal to organizations and follow established procedures meticulously. They have a strong belief in authority and respect for hierarchy, and will expect the same from their teams. Because they tend to prefer working behind the scenes, they may exercise influence primarily in building strong relationships with others. Okay, let's move on to relationships now. ISFJs and other personality types. So kindred spirits will be the inspector, the protector, the counselor, and the provider. Intriguing differences would be the composer, the supervisor, the performer, and the teacher. Potential complements would be the craftsman, the healer, the dynamo, and the champion. Challenging opposites would be the architect, the mastermind, the visionary, and the commander. ISFJs in love. In relationships, the ISFJ is generous, accommodating, and loyal. ISFJs are dedicated to the task of taking care of their loved ones and take their family responsibilities seriously. They look for ways to provide and to assist, and are attentive to the details of the people around them. ISFJs appreciate history and tradition and often want to create a relationship that reflects traditional ideals. Not so true for me. Whether male or female, the ISFJ typically adheres to customary gender roles and dutifully takes on corresponding household duties. Absolutely not true for me. ISFJs are motivated to help and may put their partner's needs ahead of their own. They typically have a clear idea of what a partner should do, but are not likely to be outwardly demanding when it comes to their own needs. Kinda true. They prize harmony and will often withdraw rather than engage in conflict. True. ISFJs want a relationship that allows them to be helpful and dutiful in their devotion to loved ones. They appreciate a considerate and thoughtful partner who recognizes their dedication and ability to nurture others. Partly true. ISFJs as parents. As parents, ISFJs are devoted, traditional, and responsible. They are often firm but loving disciplinarians and want to teach their children to do the right thing and adhere to the rules of society. ISFJ parents can be overprotective in their motivation to shield their children from the dangers of life and may blame themselves for problems that their children experience, feeling that they didn't work hard enough as parents. ISFJs are nurturing and practical and typically excellent at providing for their children's daily needs. I don't have children, so I can't comment on that one. ISFJ communication style. ISFJs take a supportive role in communication, listening to tune in to the needs of others. They tend to be sensitive and want to collaborate to support everyone involved. ISFJs rarely demand the floor, but are often quietly taking in detailed information from the world around them. They contribute information when see a practical use for it, or when they see that they could be helpful. ISFJs are loyal to what they see firsthand and will often share perspectives based on personal experience. So, an incredibly interesting look into that particular personality type. I would say that I agree with about 70% of that for me. I wouldn't say that I agree with all of it for me, because there's just some little points there that irk me, and I definitely do not agree with them for my personality type. But if having a good look at myself, I think that it's fairly accurate. So let me know if you got this personality type from your Myers-Briggs personality quiz. Let me know if you agree with them in the comments. And then the last video that I'm going to make in this series is reading out the ENFJ, also known as the teacher. And that will be the last personality type that I got from my personality test quiz that I took. So thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you have enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the final installment to this series next week.